How's it going, Virgo community? You know who it is. It's Soul Tigress with a special story for this wonderful frequency. First off, let me start this by saying thank you. Thank you so much for your time, your energy, and your patience as I navigate this story between the good, the bad, the ugly, the beautiful, and everything in between. Now keep in mind that this is a safe and sacred space where we call in the angels, ancestors, spirit guides, as well as divine and universal energy to come on in and be the guides and protectors for all of the positive positive messages, that are going to come out for this story. Now, keep in mind that this is not love tarot here. This channel is geared around self-empowerment. And what that means to me is building the stepping stones to our soul being, which helps align us with a higher power. Virgo, let's get into the vibe. Let me tell you what. Deceit, deception, the way the cookie crumbles kind of vibe. Don't wear others' mistakes as your own. Learn from them. And then that saying came up, and I quote, "Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me." Now, the next question that gets asked is, are you going to let them fool you for a third time, Virgo? Is it really worth it? Can you unattach yourself from the routine that has been happening for years? Opening up to your journey to take an adventure to where like-minded others dwell. First, you have to let go of what was the expected outcome here. It may be hard to let go because of how much you have put in so much work here. You have put in so much time here up until this point. And that could be something that is really hard to let go. It's really to sit there, sometimes to demolish something, sometimes to move on. Sometimes we hold ourselves back because of how much work we have put in. In a sense, if we let it go, then we feel like we wasted time. We feel like we didn't accomplish anything. Virgo, I want to express to you this. It may feel like you take a few steps back. That's okay. Looking at a clean slate as a brand new start opposed to it being the undoing of all of your success is another option as well. But just know, no matter how many step backs you have to take, just know that the wisdom that you have learned along the way hasn't been erased. It's still here, and it's still there for you to work with as well. Surrender the pain to the divine and trust the divine believes you have the strength to get past this. Pay no mind to the actions of others who are moving against you, Virgo. Pay them no mind. They don't deserve it. Let them dig their own hole and let them get stuck in it. Right now, you need to focus on you and where you need to go, the choices you need to make, but also the healing, the acceptance, the mercy, the kindness, that's going to be needed for yourself if you choose to embark on this new journey of getting to where like-minded individuals dwell. So let's go ahead and start everything off with the introduction. We have What's the Tea Oracle, and I'm highlighted to right away how the deck is sitting like that at odds end. So it's just, I feel like you just don't know how to view it. You don't know what to see. You don't know how to feel about it. Virgo, again, all you know is the amount of work that you've put in over the years. So ancestors and spirit guides, help guide us through this introduction. What is it that needs to come out for the Virgo community? First card we have out, something that we're not seeing and something that we're confused about. It has to do with an offer. Could this be a new offer that has came at you randomly? Could this be maybe offering yourself something? Or maybe it was an offer that was made in the past and you've been working since then. Then I have married for money. Whoever this is that married for money, they definitely could have been the one who was making the offer or offering their hand. Then I have fake flexing. Acts rich, flosses money, acts fancy, shows off, etc. Ooh. I mean, there could have been a point where you offered somebody a job, you offered a partnership with somebody. And this person went overspending on stuff. And now they're left, you're left in more debt. That could be something else too, I'm not sure. Ooh, impersonator. Wants to be you, acts like you, dresses like you, look like, copies you. If this does have to do with a business venture, this definitely has to do with somebody who could be going in and taking your ideas. If this has to do with the partnership, this is somebody who will get some act right for just a little bit of time, and they will impersonate the things that you like. But it's only for a small offering, for a small period, I should say. Again, because their mind is on money, their mind is on currency, their mind is on how they can add more to themselves. Their mind is always on this offering. It could be exactly what you're offering them. In other words, this could be a really high maintenance type of relationship as well. You can have friendships that are high maintenance as well, where you have to do so much just to prove that, you know, you're their friend and stuff. This is just something that's really demands a lot of your time, your energy, your focus, and it could be a lot of your resources as well. Then I have cyberbully. You are being bullied online, or they are suffering from it, etc. I think this kind of has to do with whatever this person is doing. If they're taking ideas, then they're definitely trolling. They're trolling stuff here. There could be a fake account. They could be having somebody else that they're working with as well. There could be some kind of collaboration. I mean, you can even get other family members. They could be getting other family members that are in on this. If you're dealing with a low frequency person who married for money, and this person's high maintenance, say when you got with them, you took a big headache off of their family's shoulders, a weight off of their shoulders, a big headache from their family's own mind and stuff. So what you will have is their family that are going to work with them so that they can keep you. And they'll make you feel like the bad guy. They'll make you feel like you're crazy. They'll make you feel like whatever because they don't want this headache back. This person, I just want to stop and reflect how this person is made up. Does it look like this person could go out and get a hustle on? Does it look like this person could go out and break a sweat? So for whoever else is helping this person out, they already know this person isn't going to do much. They're not going to bring much to the table. And their best bet is to keep this person with you in a sense. Keep that partnership with you. Keep them out of their hair and in your hair. Ooh. Inside scoop as we're talking about that. The closer you look, nosy up in your business. Somebody's in the business. It's somebody who's obsessed. They love something, but I don't think it's you. I think they love your resources. They could be in secret competition with you as well. That's what I get. You can have spouses and marriages that are in secret competition. This almost could feel like a family business as well. And you will have a lot of competition in family businesses. What they say is don't do business with friends or family. It's just if you want to keep a good relationship, a balanced relationship, don't do business with friends and family. Now let me back that up before anybody's like, oh, I work with my family and my friends. We doing wonderful. Not everybody is as mature as you and your family. Just know that. Not everybody can be fair. Not everybody can do healthy compromises. Not everybody can see the bigger picture, which is the goal. A lot of people only see their own personal things that they want. And again, whoever this is, they want to be able to sit up somewhere and not have to do anything and just make sure that they keep whatever this offer is that they're in. So let's go ahead and start off with the presents. Then now it's like I said, y'all are at odds ends with everything. How to feel about this, how to view this, even how to think about this. So angels, 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 spirit guides, what is it that needs to come out for the present for the Virgo frequency? What is it? I have water sign here. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Let's talk about the water sign houses. So you have the 4th house, which is Cancerian, establishing foundations. Cancerian energy is what they feel. Then you go to the 8th house, transformation through relationships. That's the Scorpio energy. That is energy of I desire. What are your desires? What are your wishes? What are you hoping? What are you working towards? Then the final and 12th house is ending old cycle, preparing for new, which is Pisces. I believe. So there's something here that you're feeling, something that's running at odds ends with your beliefs. And it isn't turning out to the desires that you were hoping it was turning out to be. I mean, maybe when you bring in more money, more resources, do more for this one. This one, like I said, it gets a little bit of act right. But you have to do something first. Then I have vacation. You will be traveling soon. And this is under the water signs card, something that you don't see. You may need to take an unexpected trip. Something may come up unexpectedly that you need to go and tend to, you need to do. You need to make sure you get out and do this. because there may be something that you connect with, that you align with, that you learn on this trip. I don't know if you're supposed to observe something. I don't know if you're supposed to meet somebody else and talk about different ideas and stuff like that. Because remember, getting toward like-minded people is one of the goals here. Let's see what else needs to come out for the present. Whoever this grudge holder is, I don't know, I feel like they make you double back. This says make a decision, work on inner healing. There's definitely going to be some pushback from whoever this is. And whoever this is going to be upset if you try and go out and go take some time for yourself. You got to remember that this person is always focused on the original offer. They always have money on their mind. So if they feel like something's going to sabotage that, they are going to challenge it because that's what's important to them. And I feel like you're gonna get a lot of pushback when you tell them, hey, I need a small vacation. I just need to get out for a weekend. Just be prepared. Follow your intuition. When it comes to water signs, if they don't follow their intuition, they get really, really confused in their thoughts. It's hard for them to think clearly. And as we say, follow your intuition. This is the card that comes out. This is what you're confused on. Open up your heart, Virgo. Open it up. It will help you attract more love. You need to explore what it is that you really want. Is this place, this current present situation, is it what you want? I feel like you've been working on this, and I almost feel like it's 9 years, 9 months, 9 days. It could have been something in September. There's just definitely some nines here. But you've been working on this for a while. You have to really sit down with yourself and see if this is where you want to be. Is this the type of company that you want around yourself? Because it's obsessive, it's not happy, it fakes things to mess with you. And anything that it offers you, you're confused about. Because again, at the end of the day, I feel like material goods, money, are the only thing that's on this person's, place's mind. It's whatever. I mean, you could have an employer here who looks at you as just being a cash cow. An employer who puts off that they have more money, but it's not that they have more money. They may have more materials around them, more jewelry, but it's not theirs. What I get, it's more debt. This person is creating a lot of debt here. All right. Ooh, let's see. Honeymoon. Oh, that is interesting. The honeymoon touches on these challenges, and it touches on this vacation. Honeymoon phase, attending someone's wedding. It's not the honeymoon phase anymore. And I feel like you're kind of withdrawing from this. You're not seeing an extended future with whatever this is. I feel like somehow you can't bring in other things with this. Somehow pets are involved here. Maybe this person could be, or it's a responsibility energy. Let me say that. It's a responsibility energy. Something that this person would have to do for something else, not just for themselves. And I feel like you getting to know this situation more as time goes on, you're realizing they're not changing their ways. This is why it's not a honeymoon. It's not a fun time here. And you could be realizing how selfish they are, how they're only, again, out for themselves. And if their responsibilities can't do for them, then they're not going to do for those responsibilities. Because usually with relationships, if this is a big one, because I mean, if you use contraceptives can fail. But if we say somebody who was being smart in a relationship, they were taking their time, they're protecting themselves type of thing, and right now I'm just seeing you're playing your cards right. You're trying to do this right with whatever this endeavor is, person, place, or thing. And usually when it gets to relationships, before the kids come, a lot of couples will get a pet. And it's to test out the waters, to see how one another parents, in a sense, how they take care of something that is outside of each other. And I feel like you're realizing that this person can't do stuff like that. Again, it has to be just about them. If whatever they're taking care of doesn't take care of them, then they don't invest in it. I think that's a real big turnoff for you, honestly, Virgo. We have an earth sign here in reverse. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. On the vacation, challenges, and honeymoon. You don't know how to feel about this. Then we have intimacy too in reverse. So with Taurus is I have, with Virgo is I analyze, and with Capricorn it's I use. Capricorn resists changes. Virgo is all about how we think and how we talk. And Taurus is about how we relate to the things that we love. What I have here is there's a sense of growing apart with this situation. But you don't know what to think about it. You don't know how to communicate it. And because that Capricorn's there, I use, especially in reverse Saturn energy, it talks about resisting change. You don't know how to go about to change anything. Again, because this has been a 9-year, 9-month, something on the 9s here, September something. This has been in the works for quite some time. Oh my goodness. What else needs to come out for the present? Oh my goodness gracious. There could be 2 different type of goals here. Definitely the goals could have changed over time. You also could be in a business where you, Virgo, realize the importance of to keep evolving your model, to keep evolving the business game plan, to keep evolving the business itself. That could be through using different means, different outlets, different ways, different advertising. One thing that I can use as an example is we could say we have, no offense, just using the generations as an example. You could have somebody here who is of Generation X and you could have a millennial. This is if it's in business. And the Generation X, they can get a little bit stuck in their ways, and they could see things still as the same routine. So whereas when it comes to advertising, they could be throwing out, well, it depends on the name, it depends on what you do, you know, because they're still in the mindset of the phone book and how people used to look up businesses in the phone book. But say as a person who's younger, a millennial, you understand that the way business used to advertise in the phone book is not the way to advertise now. You understand that social media plays the biggest importance, whereas this other person doesn't know that. That is one example. There could be another example of a relationship where you're finding out that the partner doesn't want the same thing that you want, or you're evolving to want something a little more and a little different from what they want. This is something that happens in relationships. You can get two people who get together who agree, I don't want to have a baby. But later on down the line, somebody changes their mind. And then they want a baby, but they don't know what to do because their partner still feels the same way on not wanting a baby. So there's something here that's changed. And we're confused about it. We're confused on what to say to it, kind of thing. Something else we're not seeing. Something else we don't want to see, in a sense, something that we're at odds ends with, is the addictions of this other. It could be addicted to buying things. It could be a direct gambling issue. It's an overspending, but remember how I told you this other one looks like they have stuff, but they really just have debt. Lots of debt here. Which makes it hard for those new ideas that we're trying to give birth to as well. It makes it hard to want to take yourself in a more family-oriented direction. And we could be starting to drift apart from this business, from this person, from this thing. Ooh-wee. I'm hearing one more card. What is the last card for the present for the Virgo community? Oh, fire signs. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. You're not seeing the liar. You're not seeing who's being sneaky. Let's talk about this Aries. Aries is birth of awareness. They're a go-getter. Leos are all about self-sacrificing for the ones that they love, in a sense. And then you have Sagittarius, who leads the direction with their truth, the truth of life, that inner knowledge. But we have something here that's being deceptive. You could have somebody who who's, what I hear is holding you accountable to all the previous agreements, even though their offer wasn't a straight up offer to begin with. They were not being truthful when they came in. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius are also very social energies. Remember I told you, you could have some other community influences that this other is using. If that's the case, just know this community is lying to you. That is to say nothing about any particular sign or these energies that have been listed. This is just, again, to show you that there is a community out there that is working hand in hand to keep something going. Keep covering up something. Keep you not knowing something. Something was done. Others know about it. That's what I get the feeling too. Something was done behind the scenes. Oh my goodness. This is a lot, Virgo. This is a lot here. It's a lot of deceit. It's a lot of deception. But it's not a reflection of the work that you've been putting in. It's not a reflection of your honesty. It's not a reflection of your loyalty. It really isn't. These mofos are making mistakes left, right, today, tomorrow, yesterday, 5 years from now. And it doesn't look like they're going to change their trajectory. Again, money is the only thing that is on their mind. And they're going to use anyone, anything to keep their image up. This is really a lot about the image of them. I mean, if you come out with your truth and say you put them on blast, that is one of the biggest fears that they have, is being exposed. It's that naked truth that they're really afraid of. But I feel like it's not your job to be vindictive. It's your job to recognize how much work you put in for something that you really cared about. Understand that you're evolving out of whatever this is, and you've been leveling up in a community that is trying to keep you down. This is why I bring out this tarot deck, the tarot deck of the divine, because something has been a cooking, and we're going to figure out what's going on in this block, what keeps you here. All right, so angels of protection, help guide us as we navigate the Virgo's block here. What is it that needs to come out for the block for the Virgo frequency? I mean, it's hard to come to terms. It's hard to recognize when you actually start to open your eyes up to people who you hoped, who you wished cared about you, or cared just as much about what you've been working towards with them. As I say this, we have the Sun card. Stuck because we've been here for a long time. You've known this community since you were younger. You know, you really thought that you have looked to them for advice before, emotional advice, you know, advice that you really took into consideration and you tried to make yourself better from. This is why it's confusing so much to you that they're playing against you. Right here, I have the Empress. You're confused. You are confused on how to view this person. Is this person something that's actually going to be of nurturing energy in the long run? A good parent type of energy, a supportive energy, one that's going to help grow these new ideas, because this one talks about fertility, talks about a good mother. And what do we have? We have this here. You have a lot of confusion about this one person. A lot of confusion. There's a big pull to walk away. You stack some things up. You may even tried to walk away once before, but something happened. 10 of Wands. I feel like there's a fear of repeating past mistakes. Maybe you felt like you were jumping the gun, and these others, you know, they were there at this time to kind of help walk you through this, to help guide you through this. And you're wondering if you're making a mistake again. I always like to reflect on that hand. It's like a Simba, or not a, who was it? Simba's dad, Mufasa and Scar kind of situation. You see that? This is what pops out in those thoughts. High Priestess. You don't feel like whoever this is has your back. It's almost like, you know, at the end of the day, if you don't keep certain things up, you don't do certain things, that this person's gonna be lost. This person would go off into their own endeavors. This person could possibly even replace you, kind of energy that they give off. Whoever this is, they come off as somebody who is well put together. They try and push themselves off as knowing a lot. But again, this person's only impersonating what you're doing, what you're saying, what you're putting out there. They're like, what is that game? Is that mimic? Is it mimicking? If you've had children or you have siblings, you know what this is. You'll have one sibling go in and start to mess with the other by repeating everything that they're saying. And I feel like this one has been doing that in a sense. That's that song and dance of them acting like they hear you, they feel you, they know they're on your team. But at the same time, they're telling you that, but what they're doing is total opposite. What else needs to come out? You don't know what to believe here. You don't know to believe yourself, to believe the community, or to believe this grudge holder with this Pisces card right here with the Hangman. You're watching something. You're watching something slowly be taken away. It's like you're slowly watching your assets disappear, kind of energy. Whatever it is, in a sense, you're too afraid to go into the accounts. You're too afraid to confront the reality here. Again, you could be depending on this community. And I hear that saying, happy wife, happy life. Happy spouse, happy house. I like to use that term jokingly with my clients, just as a light joke. But somebody's happiness, one person's happiness, shouldn't be the foundations that establish the mood of wherever we're going. I think that's too much of narcissistic energy. I'm not gonna lie. I grew up in a household like that, and around the particular parent, because this parent did marry for this, our whole days, our whole household ran off of the mood of this person. And literally we would all walk on eggshells not to upset this person. I'm going to tell you, you do that for years and years and years, and you're going to put yourself in a routine of walking on eggshells around this person or around anyone else that is like them. That's not good. That's not your place. You should be able to walk around freely, confident, knowing that other people's moods don't need to affect your day. That is something that is personal and that they need to deal with themselves. Ooh-wee. Something else we're not seeing. What I hear is Virgo saying, I'm just gonna feel like crap if I undo it all. I'm gonna feel like I'm the worst thing. I'm gonna feel like I'm leaving them out in the cold with nothing. Virgo, let me ask you this. Your ancestors are pointing this out. Is that really your fault? This person has had time, 9 months, 9 years since September, whatever it is on these nines here, to pull their shit together, to do something for themselves, to make something of themselves. And they chose not to. They chose to sit on their butts, accumulating debt, to put more stuff on them, around them, to try and show that they are successful. Never once did they invest in themselves. They invested in other alternatives to bully others, to keep others in a position of giving their resources to this other. That's what I can say. You cannot put their mistakes onto you. That was them. That's what they chose to do the whole time. They chose to gamble with their future. And I'm sorry, they lost. And they're still losing. All bets need to be off right now. And I don't think that this person would even do that. This person is really stuck on themselves. And right here, you're too afraid to pull the veil back. Even though deep down you know stuff's been stacking up. You even stacked your stuff up at one time and tried to go because something told you this was not the place to be. It was time for you to invest somewhere else, maybe to invest in yourself. Oh my goodness gracious. I know that you really feel for this person. You feel a good connection with this community. I know that, but being able to face the skeletons in the closet type of energy. What is it that keeps you here and barricaded in this? Why do you feel like you owe this community so much when you have already given so much? You've given so much and then some more. But this type of community here, I forgot the name of this creature. It was depicted a long time ago. It's like with the NPCs, the non-player characters, what I like to call as fellow other humans who are always keeping up with the Joneses, who need the bags to be happy, who are really faking life for the image, for social media. I really feel like that this isn't where you want to be. This fakeness here isn't your true authentic self. It's not your true authentic desires. This isn't what you were hoping for. But you know, along the way you had to learn. You had to learn what you wanted. And if you weren't faced with this community, if you didn't see how this community act, you wouldn't ever know about this side of the track of things. Now you've learned about it, and now you're seeing, you're feeling, and you're being guided to a higher place. Because again, the divine always listens. And you probably asked for something along the way. And now that you are ready Now that you are ready, the divine knows that you can handle what's needed to be done for your next steps. But again, you have to confront those skeletons in your closet. This is definitely that new moon, full moon energy. That new moon in Aries. Aries talks about this time around sabotage, war, and conflict. You know, confronting the things that we are at conflict, at war within ourselves. Even we could be sabotaging ourselves by still dealing with it. And then that full moon talks about how we put up with corrupt communities for so long, trying to bring in some kind of just light in there, trying to teach them that things could be better, trying to show them that things can be different. And what we do is we get stuck in a people pleasing, but we're also hanging on to a community that's okay with the corruption. They're okay with the way things are going. Now, how can you be okay with outgrowing this kind of mind concept? Because you don't want to be a part of this. And you are feeling, you're seeing stuff that is not okay with you. And it doesn't feel like you can build the future that you originally wanted here now. Don't feel like the bad guy on this. This is all a part of evolving. This is all a part of moving forward. Just know today's social media, it depicts that we should be friends with everyone forever. But it doesn't depict the reality of life. And one of the realities in life is what this full moon speaks about. And that's the 7th house relating to others. This type of house, this type of energy is where we learn about ourselves through our interactions with others. You got to a point here because you learned about yourself. You learned about what you deserve, what you really want, type of thing. And that's nothing to punish yourself over. If you're curious about a little bit more further view into the new moon in Aries, full moon in Libra, go check out my new moon, full moon interpretation and see how these energies are playing into our social circles this time around. Because a lot of us are being faced with some kind of community social issues. But again, we need these issues to learn more about ourselves. We made it. We have made it to the conclusion, Virgo. So let's go ahead and call in divine and universal energy. What is it that needs to come out for the conclusion? Whoa! Believe in yourself. It's time to make some moves for you. You've handled so much with whatever this was, working with this community, that you are ready to embark on a journey with yourself. It could be an entrepreneurship. It could be taking yourself in a totally different direction. But when I see self-employment, I see the energy of independence there. Because, I mean, people who are self-employed, those are go-getters. And this tells me, Virgo, you are a go-getter. Something that you're not seeing is the sentimental feelings. That could be something that's holding you back from going out on this new independent journey with yourself, on this entrepreneurship, this new journey of relocation. I'm not sure, but you keep looking back again at the communities, how these communities were there for you at one time, how even at the start, you know, they could have helped you out. Well, that's what they were supposed to do at that time. Again, there's nothing wrong with staying to your true authentic self. If anything, this is gonna weed out the ones who really don't care for you. The ones that do care for you, they'll be around. You'll still have contact with them. You'll still have communication with them, but they're not going to put you down for you following your truth. If anything, it may surprise you how many of them support you and what you're doing. They may not say it right away. It may take years for them to say it because, again, they're too busy worried about what other people are going to say and how other people are going to view them if they say something different. There we go. Spiritual growth is something that's going to be produced here, but it's something that's going to be needed here as well. When we start to believe in ourselves, when we start to validate our inner calling, when we start to follow that intuition, we start to spiritually grow into supporting ourselves, into believing ourselves. I mean, if you're really worried about what's going to happen, if this one has put you through the ringer, going off into a direction with others where you can get some spiritual support to help you grow will be something else to look forward to look for, not forward to, but to look for, as a tool to help you out. You can do this with church. You can get on to YouTube and find different channels that are about self-empowerment, that are about aligning with the divine. It's all up to you and what feels right for you. But it's time to get more connected to understanding that the divine doesn't have it out for you. The divine wants to see you go where you're meant to be. You just have to trust. You have to put that trust in there. Something else we're not seeing is retirement. Ooh, what do we need to retire? The outcome. You need to retire also beating yourself up for things drifting apart. They drifted apart because there wasn't a fair exchange. Any partnership, business, relationship, friends. I was actually just talking to a younger Cancerian yesterday about this. They're having anxieties about starting a new venture with employment. They've actually been on online schooling for some months, and they notice that they don't have the friends around them that they used to, and now they're being faced with higher anxieties at the prospect of starting a new job. And one thing I told them is, you could be facing anxieties because you haven't practiced socializing. Socializing is a skill. Just like being good is a skill. Just like being bad is a skill. Just like gambling, can be a skill if you develop it. And what I told her, because you haven't kept at socializing and you've been home, you did not practice that skill. So some of your anxieties are around, you don't know how others are going to perceive you. You don't know how others are going to feel about you. And so that's a little scary because you don't know these people. You haven't been to school with them. This is going to be something that's really new and you can't see the other side of it. And because you can't say that you know for sure they're going to like you, this is something that creates more anxieties for you. So if you practice being hard on yourself for the dissipation, for the growing apart, then this is something that's always going to hold you back. But if you can retire that and give it to the divine and know that everything has its divine timing, then you're going to be able to open up a little bit more, especially when it comes to this new adventure, and especially when it comes to finally putting down this old adventure. All right, let's see. Ooh, you need to know this. Stop doubting this. You made it this far with doing double the work, Virgo. You are stronger than you know. You might find when you go off into this new endeavor, it's not going to be as stressful. The work's going to be a little different because you're not going to have expectations, but you're also not going to have competition. People stealing your ideas, people after your resources either. Something you're not seeing is you need a healthcare change. This could come down to even practicing mindfulness to help relax those anxieties. This could come about as, you know what, taking more walks to help process our thoughts, to get you out in nature. Instead of stress eating, let's go ahead and trade chips for an apple instead. Let's start making these changes. You know, instead of staying up all night trying to do double the work, why don't you get done what you can get done by a certain time and retiring that out for the night and giving you a moment's break, especially just to be able to finally relax for a few minutes of your day. For an hour at the end of the day can feel like the biggest luxury. That could help lower some stress levels for you. And if you know anything, I mentioned this plenty of times, stress can wreak havoc on your mental, your physical, your emotional, and your spiritual being. All right, I'm hearing one more card. What is the last card? What is the... Oops, I'm doing that weird. What is the last card for the Virgo community? Ooh. Body changes. Remember how I was telling you, stress can wreak havoc on your body. There could be something here, because we had that intimacy card here. You ended up getting very stressed out. And it could have taken a lot away from you. I was actually reviewing some medical information yesterday when it comes down to like certain muscles in the body. And certain muscles, especially when it comes to around our hip area or even into our torso, when they develop trigger points, it could definitely take away from our vitality, our vigorance, I want to say. So just keep in mind that, again, when you start to give yourself time to retire at the end of the evening, you give yourself time to take walks, to make better food choices, and to take care of yourself, you could have some changes that are coming about with you. But I also want to know, what I also want to recognize, is that we are constantly evolving. Whether it's in our emotional self, whether it's in our spiritual self, whether it's in our intellectual self, we are always evolving. And just know, you stepping out now with how you are, what your vessel's condition is, again, doesn't make you any less of a person. It's a part of the transformation. It's a part of the wings that have carried you for so long on this journey. You are beautiful. You are beautiful. And just know that when you go through tough situations, especially when they only have their mind on one thing, when you don't show up with what they want, they will do anything to get what they want. And it's at your expense. If you somehow make them feel less, they're gonna make you feel lesser. So there could have been things that have been happening here in this situation where they were poking at your vulnerabilities the whole time. Just know, no human has a perfect vessel. I've worked on my vessel for 10 years and I still have inflammation. I still have issues that I have to deal with. It's a vessel. It's a part of being human. Humans are not perfect. We're messy, messy, messy creatures. So just keep that in mind. Don't be too hard on yourself. Don't think you have to be a spring chicken to get this done either, okay? This is going to conclude it, Virgos. Thank you so much for your time, your energy, and your patience. And don't forget to thank divine, universal energies, as well as your guides, angels, and ancestors for coming in and helping out with all these positive messages. And I hope that you have a most wonderful, wonderful, wonderful rest of your day.